B2B Cambodia, the portal for business news in Cambodia. American Chamber of Commerce organized an event dedicated to key tax updates in 2023, where they covered the main elements of tax law updates and what these changes can and will mean to businesses in Cambodia.
Really looking forward to hearing what updates have come out today or within this new legislation. And I think there'll be further updates even after this and more discussion as we figure out how we navigate these changes.
Now, on the face value, some of the key differences between the new law on taxation and the current law on taxation, there is a dramatic increase in the number of chapters. So under the old law, which I'll call it for the purpose of today, there were 7 chapters. Under the new law, there are 20 chapters, so more than double. Under the old law, there were 155 articles. Now there are 255 articles, which I'm sure those of you, I think there are a number of you in the accounting and tax profession will have great joy going over in the coming months. So let's go through some of the updates, and because of the short period of time, I've only chosen some of the updates which I think are of most interest. So the definitions section in the new law on taxation remains the same as far as it's still Article 5 of the law on taxation. There is a change to the definition of permanent establishment, and that change relates to the agency definition of permanent establishment, whereby now, in conjunction with the double tax agreements which Cambodia has signed up to, there is now a agency PE provision in the new law on taxation. And also, which is of interest, is the reference to the ability for an individual to create a PE in Cambodia on behalf of a non-resident if they perform the main duties in facilitating the process towards the signing of any contracts. In very basic terms, what a general anti-avoidance rule does is it gives a very broad set of power to a tax authority to counteract perceived tax avoidance. And so you can see under this new Article 194I of the new law on taxation, the General Department of Taxation has the ability to reject and or redetermine the elements of any transaction if the tax department believes that the taxpayers have prepared or had those transactions that represent a false or unreal intention to reduce or eliminate tax payable, which is contrary to the intention of the tax provisions.
My presentation today is on tax incentives for educational establishments. The key points of my presentation are going to be very simple, which is that starting from 2024, educational establishments will pay tax on salary, withholding tax on rent, property tax, and patent tax, and will not pay income tax, the 1% prepayment, the minimum tax, withholding tax on dividends and interest. Now, there is the new notification from the Council of Ministers, again, based on the decision of the Prime Minister. Now, the tax relief is not applied to higher education, it's applied to all educational establishments. There are obligations in the Ministry Order 209, and very important here is that Article 11 of the Ministry Order says that educational establishments may lose their tax incentive. If you don't follow the rules, you may lose the incentive. So that's very risky because if you're not following the rules, if the tax department determines that you have not complied with the various regulations, accounting regulations, timely payment, timely filings, you can lose your incentive. If you lose your incentive, then you're going to be subject to a lot of payments. I hope I've given you a sufficient introduction to the tax relief for educational establishments. Thank you.